Justino Mártir, one of the first Christian historians and defenders, as far as he was concerned, the devil did it. The devil had the foresight to come before Christ and create his characteristics in the pagan world.
Justino Mártir, the early Christian defender, was raised in a pagan home and was familiar with Greek philosophy. All these passages suggest that Justino Mártir is simply attempting to convince skeptical pagan audiences by parallels that would be familiar and communicable to them. He was also attempting to convince the Roman emperor that Christian teachings and claims were not that different from other religions that enjoyed Rome's protection, while Christians were being persecuted and killed for their beliefs. J. Gresham Machen, a New Testament professor at Princeton Theological Seminary, stated, "When Justino Mártir refers to the birth of Perseus as a birth from or through a virgin, he is going beyond what the pagan sources contained. There seems to be no clear evidence that pagan sources used the word virgin as referring to mothers of heroes, mythical or historical, who were represented as being begotten by the gods. Zeitgeist claims that the devil had the foresight to come before Christ and create these characteristics in the pagan world is yet another obvious misinterpretation of the text." Justino Mártir wrote, "From what has been already said, you can understand how the devils, in imitation of what was said by Moses, asserted that Proserpine was the daughter of Jupiter, and instigated the people to set up an image of her under the name of Korah. For as we wrote above, Moses said, 'In the beginning God made the heaven and the earth, and the earth was without form and unfurnished, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters.' In imitation, therefore, of what is here said of the Spirit of God moving on the waters, they said that Proserpine, or Coral, was the daughter of Jupiter, and in like manner also they craftily feigned that Minerva was the daughter of Jupiter, not by sexual union, but, knowing that God conceived and made the world by the Word, they say that Minerva is the first conception, which we consider to be very absurd, bringing forward the form of the conception in a female shape. Hence, Justin did not argue that demons or the devil copied Christian beliefs beforehand, as Zeitgeist claims. Rather, they copied the older Jewish beliefs and prophecies about Jesus found in the Old Testament. In another place, Justin says, "And these things were said both among the Greeks and among all nations, where they, the demons, heard the prophets foretelling that Christ would specially be believed in, but that in hearing what was said by the prophets, they did not accurately understand it, but imitated what was said of our Christ. Like men who are in error, we will make plain." If Zeitgeist wants to cite Justino Mártir as an historical reference, it cannot be denied that Justin knew these parallels were hardly parallels at all, because he affirms that the greatest distinction of Jesus, his crucifixion, was not copied by the pagan myths, as Zeitgeist alleges. He said, "But in no instance, not even in any of those called sons of Jupiter, Zeus, did they imitate the being crucified, for it was not understood by them, all the things said of it having been put symbolically." Justin also notes that no proof is offered for the Greek gods because they were mythical, but Jesus was a historical person. He says, "But those who hand down the myths which the poets have made adduce no proof to the youths who learn them, and we proceed to demonstrate that they have been uttered by the influence of the wicked demons to deceive and lead astray the human race."